در این ویدیو میریم سراغ ترجمه و تحلیل پادکست اولمپیا تیوی. این پادکست با حضور تریک الگیندی، داور مسترالمپیا، کریس کورمیور و تیم ویلکنیز به عنوان مجری برگزار شد. تریک و کریس توی این پادکست به نقد و بررسی آرنولد کلاسیک و مسترالمپیای 2024 میپردازن و صحبت‌های خیلی جالبی میشه. درود دوستان، خیلی خوش اومدین به چنل متین بادی. تریک در ابتدا بحث رو اینطور آغاز میکنه. اون میگه سمسون بزرگترین تهدید مسترالمپیا بود، اما ببینید چی شد. بریم صحبت‌های تریک رو بشنویم.
You know, after the Olympia, he won those shows, he placed third at the Olympia. We were saying he's the biggest threat to win the title at the Olympia. Look what happened after his meeting with Hadi Choopan. Now we're discussing if Rafael beat him in a few poses. You know, that's how fluid the situation is. Now people are saying, well, maybe Rafael won a few poses. That is why it's important to make a statement in every show. And in this show, despite having a good performance, some people think he was even better than the Olympia. He didn't pressure Hadi enough for us to think that he can do the same at the Olympia. And it's speculating, but
we all talked about this. We all talked about how everybody brought their best. Samson was bigger and harder than he was. However, and I'm a fan at the most basic level. My wife teases me because I'm such a fanboy for this trash. I watch the lead-in pictures on everybody's social media, and everybody by themselves with the right light looks like a winner. And Samson Dowda looked unstoppable. Friday night, he looked really good, correct?
Yes.
سپس تیم بیان میکنه همه با بهترین ورژن بدنی خود ظاهر شدن و هر کس به تنهایی قهرمان به نظر می اومد. بریم با هم دیگه بشنویم.
Things got a little bit blurry, I think, a little bit.
His lines?
Yes, we were anticipating what we were seeing leading up to the show. And that's why we had doubts in Hadi a little bit. Maybe Hadi's going to try to play a bigger game, maybe so. But, I mean, Hadi, I feel like he was giving the guy a jab all night and he couldn't answer it. He just had no answer for his jab. His jab. Even when the referee called a break, he's still jabbing out of the break. He was jabbing the whole time and he just couldn't answer it. I mean, the way he was utilizing his abs throughout the show, it was not even a shot called and he's going vacuum, abs, stratus. And he was just like letting them know that, hey, I got something that you don't possess as good as mine, and I'm going to keep hitting you with it all night long for the rest of this competition.
سپس کریس میگه ما فکر میکردیم هادی قرار شکست بخوره، اما اون برگشت و طوری به سمسون حمله کرد که اون نتونست هیچ پاسخی به هادی بده.
I agree with Chris. This was a an old school brawl where Hadi Choopan beat down Samson in every pose. And Hadi came in there knowing he might have better lines than me, he might be taller than me or bigger than me, but I'm going to expose him with conditioning. And like Chris said, man, he was putting the obliques. If you look at that, he beat him in every pose. He beat him in every single pose. This was a beat down, and Samson needs to respond. Hadi Choopan's performance at the Arnold was his best ever. I've judged him when he took third place at the Olympia twice. I've judged him when he took first place at the Olympia, when he took second place. This was Hadi Choopan's best physique. And I'm going to go as far as to say that if he presented this physique at the Olympia in 2023, he would have been two-time Mr. Olympia.
در ادامه تریک الگیندی که مجذوب فیزیک بدنی هادی شده بود گفت این بهترین ورژن بدنی هادی بود که من تا به حال دیده بودم و اگر با این ورژن مقابل تریک ظاهر میشد الان 2 بار قهرمان مسترالمپیا بود.
And he didn't go for size. He didn't go for trying to be the biggest guy. He just played his own game and I think he knew something going into the show. I feel like he knew that there was no way he was going to catch him on conditioning. And I think he was going to utilize that plan throughout the show and it worked perfectly to the T.
کریس اینطور ادامه میده. هادی اصلا نیازی به سایز نداشت. او فقط کاندیشن براش مهم بود. در ادامه تیم ویلکنیز خطاب به تریک الگیندی بیان میکنه هادی الان 8 تا 7.5 ماه زمان داره تا بتونه هر تغییری رو اعمال کنه. به نظرت هادی کجا رو تغییر میده؟ بریم با هم دیگه جواب تریک رو بشنویم.
Zero chances. Folks, sometimes the feedback is don't do anything. Hadi Chupan's feedback is don't do anything. He was so sharp. He posed so well. There is nothing to change. He sent a message to Derek Lunsford saying, you probably beat me when I wasn't at my best. This is my best. Good luck. And Derek Lunsford needs to go to bed saying, if I don't improve my physique, I might take second at the Olympia. This is going to be an all-out brawl. And Samson Dowda, he's so pissed, he's going back to the UK swimming. That's how angry he is. Because everybody was saying, including myself and Chris, he can be the biggest threat at the Mistral-Olympia. Not after what happened between him and Hadi. Samson, you gotta be angry. You gotta deliver at the Olympia and beat those two guys to maintain this reputation of the future.
تیم در ادامه میگه دریک الان در باشگاه خونگیه و در آف سیزن قرار داره و شکمش خیلی ضخیمه. پس به نظرم این یک نبرد حماسی بین این دو پسره. درسته؟ این بود صحبت‌های تیم. کریس در ادامه پیشنهادی برای شکست هادی به دریک میده. بریم با هم دیگه بشنویم.
Tim, we talked about his abs and a few seconds ago, months ago, maybe even a year ago, I was saying he has to do something with those abs. They don't match the overall bells and whistles of his physique, and they have to be up to par with Hadi's. Hadi's also have maturity. So it's a maturity level that he don't possess at this time of his career, but you must have those abs stand out and be very powerful muscle groups.
در ادامه کریس میگه به نظر من دریک دوباره قهرمان مسترالمپیا میشه. کریس مدعی میشه که دریک در عضلات پشت فوق‌العاده است و میگه هادی نیاز داره که عضلات پشت باسن و همسترینگ خودش رو قوی تر کنه و من در اینجا دریک رو روی صندلی راننده قرار میدم و احتمالاً دوباره عنوان خودش رو حفظ کنه. بریم با هم دیگه صحبت‌های کریس رو بشنویم.
I think he's going to need it because I know for sure, you know, with Derek being there at the show, he's pretty fired up too. I think he lit a fire under Derek, and I think he's going to come and try to be vastly improved over last year. And I just think that he's going to need a little bit more in the back still for Derek, and I think his front is going to obviously be lights out. So if he can just bring that same intensity all the way around, which is, he's there, don't get me wrong. I mean, he was so impressive, and I like that he didn't try to get put on pack on more size to try to go after Samson, and I like that he played his own game, but I love to see the vintage Hadi Choopan.
تیم بحث رو اینطور ادامه میده و خطاب به تریک میگه توصیه تو برای سمسون چیه و سمسون باید چه کاری رو انجام بده تا بتونه قهرمان بشه و یا از این بیشتر پسرفت نکنه. بریم با هم دیگه پاسخ تریک رو بشنویم.
Samson's goal was to win the show. He didn't. The reason he didn't win the show is one simple word: conditioning. If Samson Dowda is more conditioned, he could have won the show. That's what he needs to work on. Can he add a little bit more back thickness, a little bit more back detail? Absolutely. But the priority has to be conditioning. I often see guys trying to make a lot of changes and messing it up, especially the people that won shows. They come up to me and say, what do I need to change? So hard to nail your perfect physique. It's so hard, right?
Yeah.
We just asked Ronnie Coleman, 8-time Mr. Olympia, what was your best physique? And he said 1998. What does that tell you? That after 1998, he never got back to his best physique.
It wasn't the size. It was coming with that granite look.
Correct. So that's where Chris and I disagree. And obviously I'm right. Hadi Chupan's best physique was what happened at the Arnold. Don't try to do anything different. Just duplicate that. But when it comes to Samson, you gotta change. You gotta come in more conditioned.
از صحبت‌های تریک میشه متوجه شد که هادی چوپان در بهترین ورژن خودشه و نباید چیزی رو تغییر بده، چون زمانی که شما در بهترین حالت خود هستید و میخواهید تغییر ایجاد کنید اکثرا شکست میخورید. برای سمسون هم همون داستان قدیمی، کاندیشن بیشتر، و این موضوع واقعا برای سمسون سخته. شما زمانی نمیدونید مشکل چیه و اقدامی نمی کنید، اما سمسون میدونه مشکل چیه و نمیتونه براش کاری انجام بده. به هر حال مسترالمپیای امسال جنجالی خواهد بود. بریم ببینیم که چی میشه، به امید قهرمانی هادی چوپان. خب دوستان، خیلی ممنون که تا اینجای ویدیو همراه من بودید. لطفا برای حمایت از ما ویدیو رو لایک کنید و کانال رو سابسکرایب داشته باشید تا بروزترین اخبار بدنسازی رو از دست ندید. دوستدار شما، متین.